A very warm welcome to the CIO Agenda Series. And today we have with us Mr. Rajeev Khade, who is the Vice President and Global Head Information Technology at Amazure Technologies. A very warm welcome, sir. Thank you for joining me at CXOTV.
Thank you so much for getting me on this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Like, before we proceed more into the current scenario of the digital transformation, what are the trends and how we vision towards the year 2024, we would love to hear something about you. Then briefly introduce yourself and at the same time, let us know how your journey has been so far in the industry. We would love to hear from you.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Rajeev Khade, and I am having around 37 years of professional experience and mostly into the manufacturing industry, information technology related to manufacturing industry. So I worked for organizations like Sigma Electric Manufacturing as Global Vice President, and then earlier with Johnson Controls, which was a joint venture between Tata's and Johnson Control here in India. So I was looking after the Asia IT infrastructure and also the All India IT role at Tata Johnson Controls. Prior to that, I worked with organizations like Kirloskar Copeland, and various other initiatives. At present, I am also an advisor to various small scale companies, MSME companies, apart from my primary role. So, guiding them on the latest trends in digitalization, automation, low cost automation, robotic process automation, and the use of latest technologies that has been used. So I come from a very grassroots background wherein the computerization was just had started in 1986. So from that background, wherein the connectivity was also at a very premature stage. So what I am today is all because of my grassroots level experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very wonderful. And, when you say that it's been a journey for you as well as the growth in terms of the technology that we are seeing today, every businesses are going into this digital transformation in today's scenario.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to this aspect, what are the digital transformation trends and technologies that you believe will have a significant impact in a business's landscape in the year 2024, and how do you think that organizations are actually preparing themselves to leverage such kind of technologies?
Yeah, very good question. Thank you so much for that. And before I answer your question, let me set the perspective at the background. See, we all witnessed the toughest time of our lives, the COVID-19 time. So those were the very toughest time for everyone on this earth. So prior to that, the scenario was different. And during the COVID times and also after that, the entire working lifestyle with respect to personal and also in the professional industries had changed a lot. So having said that, during COVID times, many organizations adopted to work from home, that we all know. But at the same time, many organizations adopted to process excellence methods. So what I mean by process excellence is the way a particular process is done currently. How do we modify that? How do we excel into that? How do we reduce the number of steps? How do we bring in accuracy? And how the everybody in the organization talk the same language so that there is no difference of opinions, difference on pages as such. So for that, many people started using digitalization. So that was the process step wherein everybody wanted to go in for digitalization, but nobody wanted to know. Nobody was aware as to how the digitalization is to be done. Because somebody has done, we also thought of doing the digitalization. That was the approach that everybody started. So for that, very process laid down, very thoughtful and top to down approach is required. So that's what the industry started to follow. And they also witnessed the immediate benefits out of that also. So let me quote a statement here wherein one of these stalwarts had said that the amount of digitalization which had not gone into the industry for last 20 years, 2 decades, has gone into the last COVID-19 times, the 2 3 years of time. So that is the surprising change that we all have witnessed, that industry started to follow the digitalization approach. And according to me, this digitalization approach is not the end of the road. It's not the end of the journey. This is a continuous process, according to me, that each and every one of us have to follow, because that will lead to lot of benefits. As I said, it will be savings on time, savings on dollar, process excellence, accuracy, and everything. So digitalization is going to stay here for a longer time. It is the way. It is going to be the way of life for each and everyone. And going ahead to answer your second part, in the years to come, that is 24 and other years ahead, this digitalization will be more and more adopted as a part of life by each and everyone in the organization. So that is going to stay for a longer time. So digitalization, according to me, is the start of the entire automation and transformation journey. And this is not restricted to any particular sector, not a particular manufacturing sector, but it has been adopted by all sectors in the business area. And as I said, this is the start, and various other technologies, latest technologies, just like the artificial intelligence, chatbot, and various other technologies are being used by people, which I say that these are the part and parcel of the digitalization and automation journey.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to cut you in between. So yeah, it's coming in between. What's that? Oh, brother. Yeah, I think what you have just mentioned, we can't really agree more that the amount of transformation businesses getting into this technological adaptation has increased tremendously in the COVID years, and it has absolutely leveraged the companies to work towards it. And the technologies is something that is ever evolving. And as a technology leader in your as a technology leader, how do you see that your role is evolving in the coming years to align more closely with your organization's digital transformation goals and support this overall business strategy that is there?
Oh, very good question. Thank you, Sam, for that. See, the role is evolving. So, if I call me myself as a CIO, the role and the portfolio that I was handling years back had changed a lot. Earlier, digitalization was not at all there. Industry 4.0 projects had just begun to start, and we were all making our manufacturing process ready for the years to come. So that has led to the thinking process, change in the thinking process. The role is changing according to me, and going ahead in the years to come, the role will also evolve more and more, and that is going to help us individually and also the industries in a very more efficient way. So according to me, the role is continuously evolving according to me. And for our customers also, and in our company also, we are trying to make this as a part and parcel of our transformation journey. We always think as to what all transformation we can do in our own processes, and also when we talk to our customers, as to understanding their as a situation and how we can guide them, mentor them as to what should be the digital technologies that they should use in their manufacturing process, or for that matter, any process. So the entire process cannot be limited to one area. Just like we say, the sky is the limit. You have to think louder and find out as to in which day-to-day process I can put in digitalization and other technologies to put to use, and how I can make it more and more efficient, and thereby adding the final business value that we call it, and increasing the overall company's efficiency. So that is the changing role, according to me, of any particular CIO, and also for that matter, the business as in totality.
Okay, so can you provide some of insights in terms of the top tech priorities and initiatives that you look forward that is going to be an agenda for your 2024?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, digitalization was the stepping stone or the initial step wherein you think what I want to digitalize. So that is one according to me. And now the latest technologies, there are a number of technologies that are being used. And what we hear nowadays is artificial intelligence. But yeah, so the world has to be very cautious, because artificial intelligence, what we hear is that it's also being used to certain other areas which are not beneficial or good to organizations. So artificial intelligence, according to me, must be used in a very decisive manner, and how it can help the organization. That is another technology, according to me. The chatbot has been there for a longer time. ChatGPT, yes, ChatGPT has been making a very phenomenal news in the market, in the industry also. So it depends as to how you use that ChatGPT and how it can be made beneficial to the industry. The augmented reality, the virtual reality are another areas wherein people can use the technology and make things look as very lively things, according to me. So these are various technologies that can be used. These are not just the words. This can be explored more and more. When I say the augmented reality, when I say the virtual reality, there are many sub projects kind of thing that can be put to use, and it depends as to in which industry you are working, whether you are in healthcare, whether you are in manufacturing, whether you are in supply chain, whatever. So you have to explore and find out how these things can be used. Again, one more technology which has been there in use for a longer time. We use in our manufacturing process the robots in our the shop floor. But nowadays, the robots is not that kind of costly, capital intensive kind of thing. Robots are coming as a service also, and for smaller activities like say putting one lifting one particular item from one place and tipping it to the another place, robots are not required. The cobots are being used. So that is another area wherein the manufacturing process can be automated. And unlike the manufacturing process, there are other processes in, say, for example, in finance department. The same kind of thing, the invoice checking and approving that invoice. So therein also AR and accounts receivable and accounts payable, those activities can also be automated by use of these technologies. So one has to think a lot. One has to think like a sky, and that thing as to how these technologies can be put. But that is what I have done in my previous organization. And during the tough times of COVID-19, we as an IT team could successfully implement more than 400 digitalization projects. That was the biggest achievement that we did it.
That's
So,
remarkable.
yeah. So there are a number of use cases, but in the interest of time, we will not be able to discuss this. But according to me, these technologies can be put to use for enhancing the business process and achieving the required results.
Absolutely. Be it AI, be it artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation,
Yes,
AR, VR. I think these technologies have so much more to offer and
right.
explore, but at the same time, businesses needs to be cautious, as you mentioned. You have the advantages and disadvantages
This
outside
one and
life.
this also.
And
Yes.
yes, and there comes the security also. So it's more about awareness and at the same time innovation coming into load.
Yeah.
So thank you once again, sir, for joining. It has been a lovely discussion with you. Thank you for your time. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting and expressing my views on the topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure.
Okay. Thank you.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.